So we're at the Killing Field S21 area. Welcome to yet another
adventure.
This is the prison grounds that actually was a high school at the time. They'd bring people over here into the entry, handcuff them. Very somber experience. But yeah, they've shrunk this from the high school that it was to this size because when the people moved back in. But yeah, lots of people killed here. Only 3 survived and like 4 kids. Very sad. The interrogation rooms are pretty hard. I didn't film inside any of those. It's too sacred and too close to actually what was just happening. And a lot of people were killed in there. That was after they interrogated and confessed that their family was enemies of the state, even though they weren't. This used to be a rope climb. They turned it into a torture. They would hang them like this from their arms until they had passed out, and then they'd dunk them in the water to revive them. There's a famous painting of the situation as it happened. We're here on top of the prison cell. You can look out over the yard. The prisoners weren't able to get out. And over to, they had these to keep them from committing suicide. And this was in 1979, this was still happening. These are all names of people who are victims here. 1,871 they're up to that died at S21. This is one of those you're gonna have to come see yourself to do it justice. We came with a guide and he talks about his family, where his mom was and how they fled the city. And he remembers even being little, they came back and a change of power happened in 97 or 8. They ran and hid in a cave again because they didn't know what was happening and his mom was so emotionally scarred. His grandfather was actually killed, Khmer Rouge, and it was very tragic.
It's very deep and very heavy. It's, like we said before, this used to be university. I couldn't imagine, or school.
It was a high school.
I could not imagine going here and then all of a sudden coming and seeing the walls that they put up for the prison cells just quickly out of wood and bricks, and bringing a place that used to be so happy and energetic to so sad.
Yeah, they actually tortured them and killed them for them to confess to crimes they didn't commit. You know, they just tried to get them to be victims of war instead of or prisoners of war, versus what it was probably victims. But a lot of sides in a political battle. We're just hearing one of them. So as the rain comes, it brings out more bones. The guide was just telling us too that they'd jump in the mass graves with them so that they could make sure their bodies would not expel gases, so they could fit more in there. So here's where the mass graves were that they dug out. They excavated. They said 400 to 500 people in that grave. So this is a killing tree. They'd smashed babies' heads against it in front of the mother's eyes, and that's what that grave that they excavated is. They said they were naked, assuming that they were mostly raped and tortured before they were actually killed. Because if you killed the dad, you killed the whole family. So there's nobody left to take revenge. This used to be a Chinese cemetery before they turned it into the killing fields, but you can't see any of the old Chinese gravestones really. More graves they've dug up. Found a group without their heads. This is that one. Vietnamese head, Cambodia body, so that's why they cut them off. Left the heads over somewhere else. Nobody knows where. That's how they kill them, just normal tools. They used normal civilians to kill other civilians. Very sad. In that pagoda, they have skulls on the bottom, flat bones as you go further up. And we learned that the eagle and the snake going to the stars protects it. And then the scales on the side of it are those of fish to keep them going up. And then obviously the metal up at the top is to get them to go to gods. So they use substances to mask the body, DDT, so that they couldn't smell the rotting decay and kept people from being noticed. Here's the place where executioners stationed and weren't permanently at the office as well. This is how they lived and hung out and stayed. And the farmer in 1980 didn't realize what this was. He just came back to start working his land and then uncovered the bodies, and they didn't keep it as nice as they could have because they didn't realize what it was. They had a building here that they kept people in before execution. And they take them over to whatever pit they're going to put them and execute them and kill them. And this happened not that long ago. After January 7th, 1979. There's a trek here, but it's later been gone. So they bring 20 or 30 people around at a time. This is how they trying to help the rest of the world realize the atrocities and to keep people from doing it again. For years he was trying to do what China was doing. Very sad. Very sad. All the killing and all the atrocities. This is a tough one. You know, this was tough watching what the Khmer Rouge did to the people of Cambodia and the Khmer Nation and just the fighting, you know, and it's hard. We went from Vietnam with their war against the U.S. and the Civil War and over here to this war. And there was a lot of unrest, and it was during our lifetime. And it gave me a new appreciation to what we stand for, what we're fighting for, and what we want to hold sacred. And yeah, life is precious.
It's very precious. It's hard to even imagine what all these people went through watching their families, the children all being killed, all in front of them.
Yeah, it's very sad. It's definitely a place I definitely visit, and you can self-guide it. They have audio tours at both places, which I thought would have almost been a little bit easier for Michelle and I, just because of the way we like to pace ourselves and do.
Yeah.
It's easy to get to. There's free shuttles from the city. There's lots of taxis and tuk-tuks. That's really close. So yeah, definitely a must visit when you're in Cambodia. Come here ready to realize there's a lot.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's heavy. That's a good way to put it. But it's critical, and I'd definitely bring children back here. I think children of all ages, I think would be good for them on the exposure. But you as an adult need to figure out what's best for you. But as you go through all this, the biggest thing to remember is
You got this.